Wait, I have some questions that I'm gonna use to entertain myself while finishing braiding my hair. Ooh. Let me see. What is the first question? Relationship versus single life. Most asked questions. Most asked questions. My hairline, for my hairline. Hairline. Okay. Ding ding. Okay, let's see. Okay. Wait. Okay. Let me see. The first question is love really better or better? Is love really better than peace? Is love really better than peace? That's the first question. Is love better than peace? Would you choose love over your inner peace? I mean, the question should be like, is like, is it still love if there is no peace? That should be the question. Instead of, is love really better or than peace? Is love really better than peace? Is love really better than peace? Is love really better than peace? I just feel like for me, the most crucial thing about life is peace, because if you don't have peace, then you won't enjoy life. Every single day you will be stressed, you will be irritated, you will be miserable. So how can you be in love if you're miserable? I don't believe that. Is love really better than peace? No. My answer is no. It's impossible to enjoy being in love if the love doesn't come with peace. Love must come with peace. I believe true love must come with peace. If it's not peaceful, then it is definitely not true love. That without a doubt, I am convinced that without peace, it's not real love. Hello, German. How are you? That was the first question. Is love really better than peace? No. So the answer is no. Hello, Amal Rakim. Hello. My answer is no. Love can never be better than peace, because if there is no peace, then there is definitely no love. Without a doubt. If you tell yourself that you are in love but you don't have peace, then you are delusional. You are not in love. That's what I can say. You are delusional. You're not in love. So the answer is no. Love is not better than peace, and like love will never be better than peace. The most crucial thing about life itself is peace. If you don't have the inner peace, then life won't be enjoyable for you. You will be miserable. Without a doubt, you will be the most miserable people in life are the people who don't have peace. The most miserable people in life. Let me see. Let me go to the second question. My God, this is still a lot. Okay. The second question is, how do you know when you are with the right person? This is a very simple question. How do you know if you're with the right person? You know, let me teach you something about love, right? When you love someone, you love them. When you love someone, you love them. How do you know if you are with the right person? When you are with the right person, you will never be insecure about the relationship, never. When you are with the right person, you will never be insecure about your relationship, never. You will never. Despite living in a world where cheating it is fashionable, I guarantee you that if you're with the right person, good morning. Hi, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning to you, Arthur. If you are with the right person, I will say this again, I can guarantee you that despite living in a world where people are constantly scared about being cheated on, if you're with the right person, you will never feel that, or you will never have that insecurity. You will never. That's when you know you're with the right person. Because the question is, how do you know when you are with the right person? When you're with the right person, best believe me, you will not have insecurities. Never. That's one thing I can guarantee you. Even if your person goes clubbing, you won't even be stressed. That's how like reassured your relationship is. I mean reassuring or reassured you are as a person. I strongly believe in that. That if you're with the right person, you will never be insecure. You'll never be afraid of anything. You know, the things that people are often afraid of when it comes to relationships, you will not be afraid of those things. Without a doubt. You love me. Ooh. Where am I from? I'm from South Africa. I am from South Africa. Okay, so now I will move on to you love me. Oh, you have to love yourself first. Trust me. Do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? You have to love yourself first before you can love other people. Okay, I'll move on to the third question. The third question reads, can you be in love and still feel lonely? No. No. The answer is this, no and no. This is one thing about love, right? Before you fall in love, you are lonely. Before you fall in love, you are lonely. And then when you are in love, then your loneliness fades. That's just it. You cannot be in love and still feel lonely. It's impossible. Can you be in love and still feel lonely? No, never. That's the whole point about love, right? Love, it completes a person. When we say like love completes a person, it means anything you used to feel, like anything bad you used to feel when you were single, like suddenly it disappears. It like everything fades. Like the only thing that you have in your heart and in your mind is beautiful. That's the beauty of love. You cannot be in love and still be lonely. No. If you are lonely, it means you're not in love. You are forcing yourself, in fact, to be in love. I always say this, that many people tend to be delusional. I don't know why. I think maybe, I don't know why. Could be like the longing of being single for too long. It could be just maybe some past traumas that they have. There are many factors that can make people be delusional about being in love. But one thing I can guarantee you is that you can never be in love and lonely at the same time. People who are lonely are not in love. It's impossible. Have so the answer is no. You cannot be you cannot be in love and still feel lonely. No. When you are in love, it's beautiful. Like there's just something beautiful about love. You just feel whole as a person. That's why when you are in love, you become stupid. I'm not joking. When you fall in love, you become stupid. Like you become stupid. It's like you are an okay, I don't want to say this word, but an illiterate. You know people who are illiterate? Why is huh? Mm, have a junk drawer. What is that? So I will move on to the fourth question. It reads, oh wait, what is, where's my other phone? Oh my god. Ding, ding, ding. Wait, let me check something quickly. The fourth question reads, do relationships slow down personal growth? Do relationships slow down personal growth? It depends. Most do, especially if, for example, you date someone who's not motivated in life. Yeah, you are not going anywhere. I'm sorry to say this, but that is just logic. Because when people who don't have goals or ambitions, nothing makes sense to them. You will tell them something like, "Oh, I want to be a writer." Everything to them is far fetched. It's like it's far from reality. Nothing to them is possible. Literally, that's the thing about relationship. Actually, let's say meaningless relationships. Because the question here is, do relationships slow down personal growth? It depends. If you date someone without ambitions, without goals, best believe me, you're not going anywhere. And they will discourage you also. Like I said, everything we say to them is just like a dream, a fantasy. It doesn't exist. So yes, a meaningless relationship, it can slow down personal growth without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, I've dated different kinds of people. That those people that I dated, that like I knew whenever I was with them, I don't remember talking about something productive about life. Literally. Our conversations were just blank. We didn't talk about anything fruitful. Nothing. Not even our own relationship, actually. The relationship was just empty. We will meet, and I think we will spend most of the time silent, just gazing at each other. Most of the time. Or I will be the one who talks a lot, and they wouldn't say nothing. Yeah. So, if I talk a lot, if I'm the one who's always like talking, it means that I'm not learning anything from the relationship. Sabay di my crab. Sabay di my, sabay. Kung sabay di my ka. Kung sabay di my. So, yes, A meaningless relationship can definitely, without a doubt, 100% slow personal progress. I mean, personal growth. Because when you date someone, right, you should be able to dream together, like fantasize together, like talk about things, talk about literally everything, even the weather and the climate. I used to date this, I used to date this idiot. And I remember this one time, I think I had some sort of a conflict with my friend. And when you date someone, right, I feel like it's natural that you want to express your feelings to them. I think so. I believe so. And this idiot, let me tell you what this idiot said. This idiot said to me that uh, I should talk to my friends about like friendship problems. Imagine. It's so annoying when someone already is selective about topics. Like literal, this person told me that um I forgot what kind of I don't know what issue it was that I had with my friend then, but it was so serious because I felt like, oh, I need to talk to someone. Because sometimes maybe like I could be the one in the wrong. It happens. Sometimes you could be the one in the wrong. So when you date someone who who listens to you and who like talks sense like to you, then maybe I will realize that, oh, my friend was not wrong, I am wrong. But imagine you date someone and the person tells you, no, these are conversations amongst friends. Yeah, we didn't last, best believe me. We broke up, I think, after a few months, because there was just, I felt like we couldn't have like conversation, nothing. We couldn't talk about anything. Like it was so annoying for me. I prefer dating someone that I can talk, not just me, but like even the person has to talk. We all have mouths and minds. We think as human beings. So imagine dating someone who doesn't think. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, ah, this mosquito. Of course, your personal growth will be slow, or you won't even grow at all. Okay, let's see. Okay, that one was a bit personal. I was a bit annoyed there when I thought about that stupid relationship. Let's go to the fifth question. Should couples share passwords? This is such a good question. Yesterday, I think I had this conversation with my friend. We were just talking about it like in passing. Uh, for me, I never understood the reasoning or the logic behind hiding your phone password from your partner, or like they're saying that, oh, your partner shouldn't touch your phone because of privacy reasons. Like, what kind of privacy do you have? Like, I feel like once you like indulge in a relationship, you don't have privacy anymore. You literally share your whole life with another human being. I'm not saying like a person should just go through your phone and search, but for me, if you tell me that I mustn't touch your phone, then you are suspicious. Automatically so. So the question is, the relationship, oh wait, should couples share passwords? Yes. Without a doubt, yes. If I date someone, they will definitely like access my phone whenever they feel like it. I don't have any secrets. I feel like when people start like hiding their passwords, I feel like they have secrets. I don't know, because what are you hiding actually, honestly? Like, why is it a big deal that someone you're in a relationship with goes through your phone? I don't think it's a big deal, unless if you're a cheater. I feel like it's not even about privacy. Do you know what is privacy? If you want a private life, then be single. If you want a private life, I believe many people should be single. Because if you date me, for example, you will go through my phone because like we are together. I don't have any secrets. And I would like to go through your phone, honestly. Maybe sometimes my phone is boring. Who knows? Maybe your phone is interesting. You know, sometimes let's say you date someone and then they go out, they take beautiful pictures. I could be bored and then I go through your pictures because I want to see beautiful pictures. It's natural. I believe so. I don't know. I feel like if my phone will get boring at some point, if I date someone, I just want to see their pictures. I want to see like their life because most of the time we don't spend it with your partner. They are always out living their own lives. You can only like, I think you can only stay up to date with what's happening in their lives if you are able to go through their phone once in a while. Just go through the pictures and be like, oh, he or she went out with his friends. Oh, they did this. And then you even see a video of your boyfriend or girlfriend saying, oh, I like nature. Mind you, you have been dating for a long time, don't even know your partner loves nature. Then I'll be like, next time, I'll be like, let's go to, I don't know, a zoo. Now I know, right? Let's go to a zoo because now I know. So, I don't know. I think couples must share passwords. I feel like also like if someone is cheating on you, it helps you to be safe, you know, especially for straight couples. I feel like it's mandatory, honestly. It is mandatory. Also, I feel like when you share passwords, it kind of strengthens the trust between couples. But if you hide your passwords, the next thing you know, you're getting sick because of someone who's promiscuous, but you didn't know. Hell no. Share the passwords, actually. I support sharing passwords, honestly. This one I can never back down. I don't know, maybe because I don't have any privacy. I don't believe in privacy when you're in a relationship. Privacy when you are single, I suppose. Unless unless if you're a cream, I don't know, like why are people so like so like against sharing passwords? Why? And don't tell me about privacy. Privacy is for single people. So the answer is yes. Couples must, not have to, must share passwords. The next question is, let's see. The next question. Let's see. The next question is, how important is communication versus chemistry? Communication versus chemistry. I feel like all these things are like equally important in a relationship. You must have a good chemistry with someone. At the same time, you must be able to feel comfortable holding a conversation with someone or communicating with someone about literally anything. So, what is the question? How important is communication? Like both are equally important. Both equally. Chemistry is important as much as the chemistry. Both. Both, and both. Okay, now let's see. Is it normal to miss being single while in a relationship? Mm, is it normal? What is it? Is it normal to miss being in a relation? To miss being single while in a relationship? You know, I the okay, the kind of work that I do, I tend to talk with married people sometimes, right? And we always have interesting conversations. So, is it normal to miss being single while in a relationship? Not being single. I think no. Being single, no. But do you miss like having that me time? Yes, that one I can say yes. Because once you're in a relationship, right? Remember, your life involves another person, meaning 90% of the time you do things that perhaps aren't your things because you're trying to meet your partner halfway. So yes, yes. it is normal to feel like you need maybe a day to yourself, maybe when you can like watch a good movie alone. Imagine you date someone who love watching action, and especially for men, right? Men love watching action. Maybe you love romance, and most men don't like this romantica. They don't like this. They don't like romance. So you can imagine that always when you sit on your sofa, it's action, action, action. Of course, you will get bored at some point. So is it normal to feel like you need like a day to yourself? Yes, but is it normal to miss being single while in a relationship? Hell fucking no. No, being single is a different topic. But me time, is it like miss, like is it normal to miss like me time, like once in a while, maybe just a day alone doing the things you like? Yes. But miss being single, you are crazy. It is illogical. There's no miss being single while in a relationship. That's crazy. That means you just want to be, you want to break up. I feel like the moment you start missing being single, you are no longer attracted to the person you are with. You just need to be single. I mean, you just need to break up and save the poor soul and save the your counter partner. So the answer is no. It is not normal to miss being single while in a relationship. I don't agree with that one. Let me see. The next question is. The next question is, can long distance relationships actually work? Yes. 100% sure, yes. You know, life is a choice, right? Life is a choice. Like, it's simple to have a long distance relationship. If you want someone, you will make it work. But if you don't want someone, you will definitely break up or cheat. So it is that simple. Can long distance relationships actually work? Yes. Without a doubt, yes. It is basic, like it boils down to if whether you want it to work or not. If you want someone, you really want someone, then you won't let go of them. Simple as that. If you want someone for real, you will make a long distance relationship work. It's people tend to paint a distance relationship as if it is something like so negative. It's not. And to be honest, sometimes distance can really help you know the kind of a person you are dealing with. If a person cannot stand a long distance relationship, then they are not worth it. And honestly speaking, you have dodged a bullet. It's kind of like perseverance. Like you need to have someone who's able to persevere your absence. It is not that deep. It is not difficult to maintain a long distance relationship. I don't think it's difficult. It's just that some people sometimes they have bad friends, like, or bad company. People who always tell them rubbish. If you look at a lot of movies where maybe like the storyline is about long distance relationship, they all have the same pattern. The same pattern of which maybe there is that one friend who's always saying things like, are you sure he's not cheating? Are you sure? Like people start putting things in your head, basically. Are you sure he is loyal? Are you sure? Are you sure? If you hear if you hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, you will believe in it. So that's what usually happens in many long distance relationships. Some people are surrounded by toxic people who constantly like make them doubt their relationship to a point where they end up doubting the relationship and messing it up. But the question is, can a long distance relationship actually work? So the answer is yes. Without a doubt, it can. Yes. That's why sometimes I believe in you have to be alone sometimes I feel like when you are with people all the time, you lose your sense of being and your ability to think like independently. You get influenced like easily. Everything you say, you even reference people. Nothing pisses me off like someone when we argue will be like, but that person said, what are you saying? Stop telling me what other people are saying. Like, what do you think? I need to know your opinion. You have your own mind, don't you? We all do. All people have their own mind. They are all human beings are capable of thinking for themselves. You can't be quoting people in all conversations. No. It's a no, no. So, in conclusion, we can say a long distance relationship can actually work if you are dating a matured person. Let's see, 9. Whew. What is 9 about? Question 9 reads, how do you handle disagreements without arguing? That's a very good question. So, I will tell you about me personally. I don't argue. I don't remember being in a relationship and argue with the people that I have dated. No, I don't argue. So the question is, how do you handle disagreements without arguing? I think like you need to develop like logical sense, like a logical, or you need to be in touch with your common sense as a person. That's how you can avoid disagreements, or you can avoid arguments. Because the question is, how can you handle disagreements without arguing? You're not even supposed to have disagreements with your partner or with even your friends, or people have different opinions. As an individual, I feel like at some point you need to understand that people won't see the things the way you do. To make life easier or to make relationship easier, you just have to understand that, okay, I am in this relationship, my partner and I, we kind of have different views when it comes to certain topics. So if it happens that someday that topic like arises, then you won't argue. You will just acknowledge that we have different opinions. It doesn't have to get to a point where you argue. I don't believe in arguments. Have I ever argued with a person? I don't argue. I don't remember arguing with a person. I don't argue. I really don't argue. I have like 2 ears. I listen when people like talk, and I understand that people have different perspective about certain topics. So I don't argue unless if a person is crazy. I don't argue. I don't recall a time where I argued with a person. I'm a firm believer that I have my own mindset and I view certain things the way I view them, and the same applies to other people. We don't have to have the same, or we don't have to share the same values, or we don't have to have the same views. I don't believe in that. How can you handle disagreements without arguing? Just don't disagree with people. Simple as that. Just understand that as human beings, we have different views, we have different perspectives, we have different life experiences. We're just different human beings at the end of the day. You know, for example, I will give you a popular, let's say, a popular situation, right? Look at, what is that lady again? She's a musician. Oh, Beyonce. Look at like Beyonce, right? She's been cheated on. Some people, like, they called her a stupid for forgiving her husband, right? Other people, they said, you know what, it's her life, it's her choice. And you ask me, in those kind of situations, I'll be like, people are different, people do what works for them. That's me. If it works for you, then it works for you. I don't think I can like go back and forth with someone because of their beliefs. Your beliefs are your beliefs. They are not my beliefs. The only thing maybe that will make me argue with someone is when someone like tries to impose their beliefs onto me. But anyways, I won't argue with that person. In fact, I will walk away. I don't have time to. I don't argue. I don't understand why people sometimes end up arguing. It's so simple, you know. People are very simple. I don't recall a time I argued. Like I'm trying to think. Like I don't. It's like my opinion. It's like respect my opinion. I respect your opinion. If I meet someone who doesn't respect my opinion, I leave. Like literal, I just leave, and I block them. It's that simple. I don't think it's difficult. It is simple. Okay, now let me move on to 10. Number 10. When should you walk away from a relationship? When? When is it the right time to walk away from a relationship? To be honest, this one is a tricky question because most of the time you just wake up and then you walk away from a relationship. Most of the time people they just wake up and walk away from relationship. So but then the question here says, when should you walk away from a relationship? The reality is that when that day comes, it will just happen. You won't even ask your boyfriend or your girlfriend anything anymore. You will just wake up and then it will be over. I bet you that maybe you could be in the best time of your relationship, but if you are over someone, you just wake up someday and then life goes on. You just wake up and then you just walk away. You will know. It happens, actually. It happens. And it happens. That's one thing I know for a fact. It happens. People outgrow you. It happens. People some people they just outgrow you. And to know actually okay, specifically to know that it is time to walk away from a relationship. It's when you stop caring. You know, like when you're in a relationship, right? There are certain things that maybe your partner will do and maybe they will make you angry or make you happy. When that time comes where they do the same things and maybe you don't get moved or perhaps they even irritate you, then you know that you're over a person. Like, let's say a person cheats on you, right? A person cheats on you the first time, and then let's say you fight, right? You fight, and then you forgive them eventually. And then they cheat on you the second time, and then the same happens. You forgive them, of course, not like simple, but you forgive them, and then life goes on, right? And then they cheat on you the third time, or whenever. When that day comes when they cheat on you and then you don't care, you know that the relationship is over. Because you are supposed to care when someone cheat on you or when someone mistreats you. But if there comes a time where someone you love cheat on you or do something that maybe in the past it used to like evoke some emotions but not anymore, that is when you know it's time to walk away because there is nothing. When you're in a relationship, you are supposed to be moved by the action of your partner. If they do something and you're not moved, then that's just it. It's over. Miss that. They do something and you're not moved, then it's over. So now let's move to single life. Ooh. Single life. Is being single really lonely or just misunderstood? That's a very good question. Is being single really lonely or just misunderstood? You know, there is this saying that every lifestyle is a habit. I don't know if you have heard of that before. Every lifestyle is a habit. As much as some people get used to being in relationship, like other people get used to being single. So what I'm getting into is that is being single really lonely or just misunderstood? I think for the most part it is misunderstood. For the most part, there are lonely people in relationships simply because they just indulge in relationships for the sake of indulging in relationships, because being single, it is not their best trait. Like being single is a trait, like I said, every lifestyle is a habit. Every lifestyle is a habit. So just because you are single doesn't mean you're lonely. No, just a habit. You just get used to it, which, if the question was, is being single really toxic, then I would argue that one. Yes, being single can be toxic because you get used to being single. When you meet new people, it's like you don't get that excited, you know? You don't get excited, literally. Unless, I don't know, unless if you meet Jesus Christ. But if you just meet like a random human being, they won't excite you. Toxic, yes, being single can be toxic, but being single, is being single really lonely? No, that one I don't agree with. Being single is just a habit. Is You can imagine yourself maybe being obsessed with going to the gym. It's the same as being single. You get used to it. You just get used to it. It just becomes, it's who you are. It just becomes your whole persona, just being single. So with that being said, being single is not lonely. For the most part, I can say being single is just misunderstood, but being single lonely, no. Is being single really lonely or just misunderstood? Definitely misunderstood. Without a doubt, without a doubt, being single, it is just misunderstood. Let's see. 12. How do you know you are single by choice and not fear? Wow, what a good question. How do you know you are being single by choice and not fear? I think people live with fear based on experiences. If you have never experienced something tragic in your life, then what is it there to fear? If you have never experienced anything tragic in your life, what is there to fear? What is there to fear? So, how do you know you are single by choice or not fear? It depends on experiences, like your relationship past. That's all. That's all. How do you know you are single by choice and not fear? It depends on your past relationships. If maybe you have been in toxic relationship, maybe you could have like a fear of indulging in another toxic relationship. But for the most part, being single is a choice. It has nothing to do with fear. Honestly, trust me. It has nothing to do with fear. It is simply a choice. Actually, I also had this conversation with like my friend yesterday, that it's like everything in life, right? It is based on experiences, personal experiences for the most part, or even from observations. If in your life you have experienced love, right? A thing called love, where you have strong feelings for someone. If they come, if that situation doesn't work out, you won't be you won't be moved by meaningless relationships, because you know the taste of a thing called love, a thing called, I don't know, feelings. That's it. So not indulging in relationship has nothing to do with fear. It has literally everything to do with experiences. That's all. Which results to choices. Simply a choice. It is simply a choice. Okay, let me go to the question 13. Is healing required? Is healing required before dating? Yes. Is healing required before dating? Yes and yes. You know, when you take your time to heal, right? Also, you don't just do it for yourself, but then you do it for the other person whom you are going to meet in the future and date. So, healing is definitely required before dating again. It's a must. It is a must. Otherwise, you will go into the next relationship with like those anger issues, with a lot of problems actually, with the traumas, every bad thing that you have endured in your past relationship. So healing is a must. You must heal. People must heal. And the problem is that when you don't heal, when you jump into another relationship, usually you are emotionally unavailable, and it happens a lot. It's hard to commit if you haven't healed, because you don't give that person your all. Like, you give them parts of you, like just parts of you, but not your, like, all of you. And that doesn't work. If you're going to give someone like parts of you and then hold other parts back, then it's pointless. The relationship is doomed to end at some point. And you will just jump from one person to another, one person to another. So, yeah, take your time to heal. And healing also, it means understanding what really went down with your past relationships. I think healing is very important. Healing is very important for personal growth also, because you have to take your time and understand what went down. Like, you have to. Okay, this one, it is, I'm talking from experience. You have to, you have to give yourself some time to heal, to understand what happened. You cannot just jump into another relationship. That is like, it is a waste of your time and another person's time. It's a waste. You cannot have a relationship if you haven't healed, or if you haven't taken some time to understand your past relationships. Because, like, for the, what is interesting about relationships, right? When you are in a relationship, it is different when you are out of it. When you're in a relationship, I feel like as people, we often make a lot of mistakes that we don't even realize. But as soon as it ends, then you start to realize your shortcomings as an individual also, you know. So you must heal before dating again. That is a must. Okay, let me see another question. 14. Are single people happier than people in relationships? I think this is subjective. It is subjective. It is subjective. It depends. Are you in a happy relationship? Of course you will be happy. Are you single and happy? Of course you will be happy. But are you single and miserable? You'll be miserable. Are you in a miserable relationship? Of course you're going to be miserable. Simple as that. So I wouldn't say that single people are happier than people in relationship and vice versa. I cannot say that people in relationships are happier than people who are single. No, I wouldn't say that. Hello, animation music. So I definitely wouldn't say that. Are single people happier than people in relationships? No. Even people who are in relationships are not happier than single people. It just depends. If you are in a happy relationship, then you will be happy, but not happier than single people. You will be happy. If you are single and happy, you will be happy, but single and miserable, you will be miserable. In a relationship and in a miserable relationship, you will be miserable. That's it. That's it. There is no magic in relationship. It's just logic and common sense. Let's see. Another question. Another question reads, okay, another question reads, how do you deal with pressure from family to settle down? This is such a good question. How do you know, once you get older and you start paying your bills, I don't think you should still be influenced or pressured as a human being. I don't get it. If you pay your own bills, if you wake up in the morning and you go to work and make your own money, I don't think any person in this world should be in a position to pressurize you, including your own family. I don't believe in that. I just don't believe in a lot of things, I suppose. I don't believe in that. How do you deal with pressure from, you know, from family to settle down? If your family, let me tell you something, if your family keep pestering you about settling down, you have allowed them to. You have allowed them to. Your family treats you based on how you allow them to. But if you are very firm with your family and you show them that your life is your life and that's it, I don't think your family will even think of pressuring you to settle down. I don't think so, because as much as your family is your family, those are human beings with their own lives. At the end of the day, they will understand you as much as you understand yourself, as to like, why are you not settling down at like the age that usually people settle down. So it depends. Your family treats you based on how you allow them to treat you. So yep. Now let's go to question 15. How do you, oh no, 16. Is dating harder now than before? Mm, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Dating, it is very hard today compared to in the past. Because I feel like nowadays, money rules relationships. And not just any kind of money. It's like you need to have like a, like you have to be financially good to be in a relationship today. So without a doubt, dating now is harder than before. Money is crucial. In the past, money was crucial, but people used to be a little bit tolerant and a little bit understanding. But today, no. People value themselves nowadays, and there is just I feel like with social media, right? Social media, it yes, it has damaged a lot of people into thinking that a relationship must be like in a certain way only. It's like there is just this one formula of how a relationship must be nowadays because of social media. So for most people, if like their relationship doesn't seem like that, then it's not a relationship. So dating today is harder than before. There are just so many rules. And the same things, like, it's so funny. People might think like it's a joke, but most women, they are attracted to the same men. It's crazy. Most women are attracted to the same men. That's why women can sleep with a man knowingly that this man, he is either married or in a committed relationship. Women can do that. You know why? Because they all want to date the same kind of a person. They forget that people are different. The same with men. Men are different. They don't look the same, they don't dress the same, they don't walk the same, they don't have the same like amount of money. But women, when they sit amongst one another, they kind of influence each other in terms of how a man, like what is an attractive man, or how a relationship must look like. So is dating now is hard. Actually, it's hard because most people, they end up changing themselves just to fit in these boxes, or to tick these nowadays boxes that you have to tick to fall under before you can date someone. So definitely dating now is harder than before, without a doubt. Let me go to the next question. The next question is, can being single too long affect how you love? Can being single can being single too long affect how you love? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. It just depends. People are different, honestly. Like, human beings are different. It's so sad that some people, they don't want to acknowledge that reality, that as people, we are very different. Like, very, very different. Wait, what is the question? Can being single too long affect how you love? Some people, yes, maybe, but for others, no. It depends overall. Like, overall, it is individualistic. It depends on the person. Some people, yes. Other people, no. No. In general, also, I would still say it depends on an individual. Let's see, question 18. Does independence make dating harder? No. Insecurities make dating harder. Insecurities make dating, like, insecurities and surrendering your ability to think on your own make relationships or dating harder. Those two things, insecurities and surrendering your ability to think independently, ruin a lot of relationships. Because I'm telling you, there are so many people that I have met in my life who were actually like in good relationships. I'm not even joking. In good relationships, but because of the reality that they chose to surrender their ability to think for themselves and their relationships, they ended up like ruining their own relationships. So, independence doesn't make dating harder. No, insecurities do. Insecurities and surrendering your ability to think independently, yes, do. Because how beautiful it is to date someone who is independent. People don't understand something about independence. If you date a woman or a man who is independent, right, that means like this person is able to meet you halfway. Basically, this person is able to meet you halfway. The cost of living is very high. People don't make a lot of money. Like people who work like ordinary jobs, they don't make that kind of like good money. But if you date an independent woman who is able to wake up in the morning and go to work and make some money, dating is easier because she doesn't need you to buy her everything, you know. It makes dating easier because both of you have money. You can have as many as possible dates because both of you have money. But imagine in a situation where only one person is moneyed. So it makes relationship harder because now your whole relationship is on a budget. Basically, you live your lives on a budget, which sometimes can be boring because some nights maybe you want to eat out, but because you don't have enough money, then you just say, oh no, we will go next month. It's boring. Oh no, it doesn't function. So the answer is no. Independence doesn't make dating harder. Insecurities make dating harder. Insecurities and surrendering your ability to think independently make dating harder, without a doubt. Okay, so now I will move on to. Oh, wait. Now I will move on to question 19. How do you enjoy your own company? Oh, that is so easy. How do I enjoy my own company? First, you must be honest with yourself. When I say be honest with yourself, it means you need to know the things that you actually enjoy doing or you like doing. That's it. Be honest with yourself, know the things that you enjoy doing, and then when you are by yourself, do the things that you enjoy doing. Don't be that person who wants to do what everyone is doing because it's trendy. That's what makes life boring, and that's what makes a lot of people miserable today. Because again, people deprive themselves the opportunity to live their best lives because they just want to do what everyone else is doing, even though they don't even like those things. So it is stupid. It is stupid. I had like a conversation with this I had a conversation with this young student. I think, wait. Oh, we were actually talking about bookstores and anime. I asked her if she loves reading, going to the bookstore, also whether she likes anime because many kids nowadays they love anime. So she said to me that no, she doesn't like anime. It is just not her style, but her friends love anime, so for me I was very impressed by her because she, as much as she's surrounded by people who love anime and like they all play soccer and volleyball, she didn't like indulge in those things. However, she respected that her friends do those things, but for her, she was like, I don't like them. I love dancing. She loves dancing, so she told me that like she takes uh some dancing classes on her free time. I was really impressed because I'm like, this child thinks independently. She knows what she likes and she do what she likes. She's not living her life based on what her friends and her, because she told me that like her friends, like they do the, like all her friends they like the same thing, including her cousins also, but she's like, no, I like this and I will do what I like. So she's honest with herself. So the question here is, how do you enjoy your own company? First, you need to be true to yourself and do the things that you enjoy. Stop following trends. doesn't make life fulfilling, honestly. Do things that makes you happy, and you will enjoy your own company. You won't feel the necessity to always be surrounded by other people, because you know what you like and you do what you like. Simple as that. Let's see. Question 20. When do you know you are ready to date again? Hmm, I feel like every person is always ready to date, honestly. It's all about timing and not meeting the person that perhaps really moves you. So, when do you know you are ready to date again? All people are always ready to date again. However, due to other factors, they just choose to be single. All people are always ready to date, but due to other factors, they remain single. Okay, now let's go to relationships versus single comparisons. Who has more peace? Single people or couples? Yo, this question, it depends. Honestly speaking, it depends. Like, there are so many single people who are at peace, as much as there are like many couples who are also at peace. So it just depends. Between single people and people in relationships, who saves more money? Okay, 50-50. 50-50. When you are single, right, you will misuse your money, because the most funniest thing about being single is that you don't even check your balance, or you don't even live on a budget for the most part. So that makes you a little bit a big spender. The same with people in relationships, honestly. I think it's 50-50. It's 50-50. 23, relationship versus single comparisons. Who experiences more growth? Both. Both. Both experiences. Both experiences. Both experiences more growth. Both experiences more growth. Both. That's my answer. Both. Both experiences growth. More growth. And then we have question 24. Is love worth the emotional risk? Of course. Of course. You know, if you're going to get heartbroken again, just always remember it is just part of life, you know. It hurts today, tomorrow you will laugh about it, and that is true. It might be painful today, but rest assured, sooner or later, it will be part of your jokes. So, yes, love is worth the emotional risk, without a doubt. So now, let us go to question 26. Question 26. Let's see. Question 26. It reads, is it better to wait for the right person or build with someone? I think both. Is it better to wait for the right person or build with someone? I think both. I think both. Both. Both matters overall. Yes, if you feel the necessity to wait for the right person, so be it. Also, it is beautiful to meet someone if you share the same interest, despite not being in love, not having chemistry. If you meet someone who respects you, who like enjoys your company, then I think it is worth building something with that person. Love will find you on the way. That's my belief. Because in the past, people used to think like arranged marriages are wrong. I don't think arranged marriages are wrong at all. Especially if, for example, they met you with someone who respects you, someone who there's no love, of course, because first and foremost, you don't even know that person. There is no love. But if the person respects you, if the person is willing to build something with you, then why not give it a try? I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. Like literally, I feel like when it comes to love, not every person in this world has a thing called a soulmate. Some of you, you'll just meet nice guys or nice girls who you share the same views with, you respect one another, you are happy, and that's all. You will fall in love maybe someday or never. Bottom line is that you don't stress one another. You you build maybe a good friendship. I don't know, that's my opinion. I think, is it better to wait for the right person or build with someone? I think both are better. You can either you can build with someone or wait for the right person, whatever works for you, honestly. Are single people more confident? Oh my god. Are single people more confident? Sometimes. I don't know. Wait, let me think. Are single people more confident? More confident. I don't know. Is it like confidence inherent? Something that like some people are born with? I don't know. I feel like people who are more confident are people in relationships, because when you're in a relationship, it means you spend most of your time with someone who keep complimenting you, and compliments are what boost confidence. So when you're single, you don't have like anyone telling you, oh, you look pretty, oh, you are hot, oh, you're sexy. So I think people who are in relationships are more confident than single people, because when you are single, right, basically most of the things you just have to convince yourself. Literally, you just have to convince yourself. Like, you have to push yourself. You are alone. Just remember, you are alone. No one tells you you are beautiful. And it's impossible to wake up every single day feeling beautiful. Like, most of the time, maybe you feel like shit. But when you're in a relationship, right, if you feel like poo poo, at least you have like a partner who will be like, you're amazing, you're good, like, and say all the beautiful things. What do you say? How about when you are in love with them but there's no sexual compatible? Oh, that's a very good question. Make that person watch porn. I'm sorry. You have to. You have to. Make that person watch porn. I feel like sometimes people, they tend to disregard porn and think like porn is such a bad thing. No, it is not. It can really, 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 really help you, like in bed. It can. It really can. You have to make that person watch it with you. And I know it really hurts, to be honest, but I feel like good sex is very important in a relationship. Otherwise, it's not worth it. I'm not joking. Like when I was in university, I remember I was with these girls, and then we had this conversation about one of the girls, like amongst us. She wasn't my friend, she was like an acquaintance. She mentioned, sleeping with guys, of course, this is common in university. but she had never orgasmed in her whole life. Imagine. She was like, all the guys that she meets, they just fast and then they move on. Fast and then they, it's like, if they come, they are done with you. They don't care if you come or not. So also, first, make that person watch porn. If they don't want to watch porn, then be brutal honest with them. Tell them that, hey, I also want to feel something. It's important, That's the beauty of humanity, of people. Just sexual intercourse is very important, honestly. So that's my opinion. Like, how about when you are in love with them, but there's no sexual, yes. It has to. One thing that people don't talk a lot about sex is that no one was born with like good sex skills. It's impossible. People learn. People really learn. They learn. You know, I will say something about, let's say, men, for example, right? There are men who really are good in bed and there are men who aren't, right? Do you know what is the difference between the two men? Is that a man who has slept around like many times is better in sex than a man who has had a single partner. That is true. Because you just think about sex as like a subject. For example, if you like any subject in school that you excel in is because you have studied a lot. So the same applies to sex and everything in life in general. So that is my opinion. My opinion is that you have to make that person watch porn. One, yes. And then if they don't want to, just be brutal honest with them. The problem is like women lie. Women lie a lot. Women lie. I don't know why. Women lie. I feel like for me, if I was in your position, I don't think I will do it again. I will do it once and then be over with it. I'm not going back. It's not worth it. It's not happening again. Okay, now let's go to... Wait, I'm going to move on to... What question is it? Let's see. Question... Wait. The next question is... the next question is... wait. Oh my gosh. The next question is... do relationships make people lazy or confused? Jesus, what kind of a question is that? Some people, they get confused a lot. Relationship confuse a lot of people because sometimes people, they're in relationships, right? But it's like they don't want to be in the relationship, but then they're still in a relationship. You know how confused people they get when they're in a relationship? Someone will be in a relationship, but when they're outside, they say they're single. I'm not joking. And it's sometimes hard for them to even regard their boyfriends or girlfriends as their boyfriend and girl. Some days they'll be like, I have a boyfriend. Other days they'll be like, I don't have a boyfriend. Yeah, so relationship make people... No, relationship confuse people sometimes. No, I read the question wrong. Do relationship make people lazy or focused? Oh no, I read the question wrong. What is the question again? Do relationship make people lazy or focused? It depends. It depends the kind of a person you're dating, honestly. If you're dating a lazy person, you'll be lazy. If you're dating someone who's focused in life, rest assured you will also be focused. That's just logic. That is just logic. Let me go to the next question. The next question is it, no, who has better mental health overall? People in relationship or people who are single? This is subjective. It is subjective. You can be in a relationship and still be miserable, or you can be single and be miserable. So it is subjective for the most part. Actually, it is just subjective. So the answer is it is subjective. People with good mental health can be both, can be single or be in a relationship. It just depends on an individual. Let's see, question 30. What does it have? Is it better to be alone than in the wrong? Oh, is it better to be alone than in a wrong relationship? Oh, I'd rather be single. I'm not even joking. I don't do wrong relationships. Waste of energy and time. I would rather die single. I feel like that's one thing that I've made peace with. I'm not going to be in a wrong relationship. It's not happening. Unless if someone just lied to me, convincingly so. Because some people are good liars. That's one thing that sometimes as people we have to also consider. That there are people in relationships, in wrong relationships, who were tricked into those relationships. There are so many people. So is it better to be alone than in the wrong relationship? Yes. Yes. As soon as you find, if maybe you're tricked to be in a like wrong relationship, as soon as like you find out that you were like this person is using you, it is best to walk away. But if you just choose to be in a wrong relationship, then there is something wrong with you. You need therapy or something, because in no fucking way an adult with common sense will choose a wrong relationship over being alone. It doesn't make sense. There is no logic there. Let's go to let's go to oh, now spicy or engagement questions. Spicy or engagement questions. Would you rather be single at 35 or divorced at 30? Wait. Would you rather be single at 35 or divorced? Oh, I feel like sometimes people think of divorce as if it's like the end of the world. Honestly speaking, I would rather be divorced at 30. If, for example, I met someone and I fell in love and I believe this was the love of my life and then we got married, I don't think I will ever regret like getting married to someone that at some point in my life I was in love with them. Unfortunately, maybe we fell out of love and then decided to get a divorce. So, would you rather be single at 35 or divorced at 30? Definitely divorced at 30. I don't look at divorce as the end of the world or something like so scary. For me, like divorce is just, for me, everything in life is part of life. I don't think like divorce is that scary. Hello, hello, German. Wait, it's German, right? Hello, how are you? So my answer is I would rather be divorced at 30 rather than being single at 35, without a doubt. Oh, how are you, German? How are you today? Okay, now moving on to the next question. Can love really be unconditional? That's a very good question. You are good. Tell me, German, do you think that love can be unconditional? Mhm. Do you think that love can be unconditional? I believe so, yes. Yes. You just like One thing about relationships is just that love can be conditional without a doubt. Without a doubt. People need to do away with this mentality of dating people who are not matured, knowingly so. And you need to do away with the mentality of justifying immature partner. Then you understand that love can be unconditional if you date someone who's matured. That's all. It takes maturity to date, to experience unconditional love. That's all. You need, like, stop dating idiots. Literally, you have to. You have to stop dating, like, S's. I never understand why women do that. Like, when I watch a lot of, like, I love rap, right? I love rap. And then I look at the women who are, I don't believe in a saying of passed around. I don't think those women are passed around. I think sex is mutual. I don't think people get passed around. I think sex is mutual. But at the same time, I do believe that people should be in a position where they choose to have sex with people who are matured. I don't get the logic behind women having kids by a man who has like 4 5 kids already with other different women. I don't understand why women do that. I don't get it. I don't care how rich a man is. I will never do that to myself. And then those kind of realities are the reason why people don't believe in unconditional love anymore, because people, they just choose like to date or to have kids with mediocre. I don't understand why they do that. I don't know why women do that, honestly. I don't get it. This guy, he has, like, especially the rappers, I don't know, it's a culture or whatever, but if it's culture, then they really need to change that culture, because, yeah, it makes people not believe in love anymore, because these people are delusional, first thing foremost. They say they're in love with someone who has 100 babies by different girls, and all those 5 girls, they'll say, we're in love with that man. No, that is not love. You need therapy. No, most of those girls who date rappers, there is something wrong with their brain. I don't get it. That is my opinion. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. How do you have, like, a child by a man who has already million kids out there, and then you want to claim that you are in love, and then when it ends, people, they'll be like, oh, love no longer exists. It was never love to begin with. No. It was never love to begin with. Never. Never. It was never love. You are just crazy as a girl. There's something wrong with your brain. Like I said, you need either a therapist or a psychologist. You can choose the either. Oh. Whew. Almost. Let me see. The next question. Is cheating always a deal breaker? Yes. Cheating is a deal breaker. Do you think people can get cheated on and continue having a normal relationship? Hell fucking no. No and no. And there is this misconception that only a man can get affected by a cheating girlfriend. But one thing that men, I think they don't realize that, like, as much as you're a man, you have things called feelings similar to women. So if your girlfriend cheats on you and that, like, end up destroying what you guys have built, the same applies to a woman. If you cheat on a woman, it's over. Like, men, they don't understand that. I think most men are delusional. They think they can cheat, it's okay, and a woman will forgive them. No. One thing I will tell you now is that if you cheat on a woman, right, she's going to do you dirty. Women are evil. Especially a woman who, like, has been cheated on, you must, if you cheat on a woman, right, and then she forgives you, I think you need to fear for your life. I think so. I think you must fear for your life because a woman, it's impossible. Like cheating in general, there is no person who gets cheated and then just forgives. It's impossible. There's always a reason behind, and best believe me, a reason has nothing to do with them being in love with you. Nada. Nada. Like, I have female friends, right? Not my female friends, right? In the past, I have had like friends who were cheated on, and like you know what is funny about like most of those girls, they forgave their boyfriends, but the things they did behind those boyfriends were worse than their boyfriends cheating on them. Literally, literally. It's impossible to cheat on a woman and for a woman not to cheat back. That's one thing that I refuse to believe. I've never in my life came across a woman who was cheated on but she never cheated back. The difference between men cheating and women cheating is that women don't usually get caught, but men get caught easily because men are delusional. They think that cheating for them is normal. So they for the most part they don't hide. But a woman cheats and then you will never find out. And then you ask yourself this one question, right? How many men do you know who how many men, right? How many men do you know who have raised kids who weren't theirs? Like many men, they have raised many kids who weren't theirs. A man will find out after 13 years that he was raising another man's child. Ask yourself that question. How didn't they find out all this time? How? Because men, they think they can cheat on women and women cannot cheat back. That's the problem. That's what kills men. Like beliefs will kill you. Stop believing in rubbish and use common sense. If you cheat on someone, get ready to be cheated at back. It is just normal. If you cheat, you get cheated on. And the question here was, oops. The question was, my eyes. Wait. The question was, wait, let me see. Is cheating always a deal breaker? Yes. Always. Always. I will say this. There is no way you can cheat and still have a normal relationship. It's impossible. Unless if you guys are just lying to one another, which is normal to lie, I guess. When you are in a relationship that you have invested like years and you are not ready to let go. So people will just cheat and be like, oh, I forgive you. But they will cheat back. If you cheat on a man, he will cheat on you also. If you cheat on a woman, she will cheat on you also. That's logic. That is logic. Okay, let me accept this quickly. Do I still have a lot? Oh my gosh. I think I just have to make like enough so that I can hide the one in the middle and tomorrow that I can be able to go to school, because there is no way in this life I'm finishing doing my hair. Yo, the afro is painful. Like, ouch. Ah. Okay. Wait. Chats. Monday. Okay, let me go to my next question. Yeah. I have to do Thai homework also. I'll do it at 5. I'll go to TikTok live at 5. Hopefully hopefully the people aren't asleep. Okay, let's see the next question. Oh my gosh. Yo, can I have a magician to help me finish my hair? Let me see. There's still a lot. Oh my god. Let's see. The next question is, do people settle because they are tired of being single? Yes, some people, they do that. Actually, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. They settle because um they're tired of being single. Many people do that. That one I won't even dispute. Yes, many people do that. They do that. Many, many people. Molto persona. Many people. So yes, many people, in fact, not some, many people, they settle because they, like, maybe they are tired of being single. Yep, I agree with that one. Let me see. Another one is emotional availability rare these days? Yes. Yes and yes. That's it. Here's the thing, right? I feel like, not even I feel like, it's just reality. Many young people, like, we grow up in communities or families where no one is married, or people got married, they cheated on one another. Or, you know what even makes this whole thing worse is that maybe you can live in a family where your mother cheats on your father, and you know, or your father cheats on your mother, and they hide from one another, but then they don't hide it like from you. Imagine a child growing up in such an environment. Do you think a child will be emotionally available? Fucking no. They will never open up for like a woman or anything, because of what they see their parents doing to one another. So the answer is emotional availability rare these days? Yes. Many people, like, grow up from broken families and broken societies. So it is quite difficult for them to really, like, open up, because it's not something that they grew up seeing. It's rare. It's rare based on their upbringing. Also, they just also don't open up. That's just what happens usually. That's what happens usually. People, young people mostly, they grow up in broken families, broken societies, broken countries. I will give you an example with South Africa, right? You know, in South Africa, I will, like, in my hometown, for example, there are just so many people who have kids, but none of them is married. Literally, not even many people have children, but not a single one of them is married. Do you think those people are emotionally available? No. No. No, it's just the life of sex. That's what's happening today. It's the life of sex, and then um some people, they end up making, like, the mistakes, of course, and then falling pregnant. But are those people emotionally available? No. People who are emotionally available, they really don't have sex for fun. They really don't. And they are very careful, because they are very careful, honestly. They don't even date easily. it's very difficult to mislead or to trap that kind of a person. People who are emotional available, they don't play with their feelings. They don't. They really don't. They don't even date. Most of them, they don't even date in their hometowns. Most of them, they go to universities, meet guys there, fall in love there, get married and have kids. Those people who are emotional available, they are people who end up getting married. People who like people who aren't emotional available, they're the ones who end up like being single mothers. And that's, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just answering the question here. People can do as they please with their lives, actually. But most single mothers are without a doubt not emotional available. No. Many single mothers and single fathers or guys with 5 kids with different girls, they are not emotional available. Many no. They don't do emotions like I told you. There are people who are infatuated, like infatuated. That's how they live their lives. It's like they meet someone today. This person maybe has some qualities they like, and then they date briefly. If they are lucky, they don't have another child by that person, and then briefly before you know it, they break up. And people who are emotional available, right, when they break up, they really go through some serious emotional turmoil. So nowadays, which is rare to see, young people today, they break up and then life goes on. So are you telling me that is someone who's emotional available? No. People are emotional available. If they break up, they go to mental institutes. Most. Wait, let me go pee pee. I'll be coming back. Ow! Ouch! Ow! Oh my god. There's hair everywhere. Everywhere you go. Do, 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 do. Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, ouch. Okay. It's full. Ah. Okay. Now, wait, what question is it now? Now it's question. It's question 36. Are men or women happier being single? Both. Both. It just depends, this question, it is subjective. Both. It is not like an objective question. Both. Being single, again, it's a choice, and some people, not some people, most people who are single are happy, honestly. Most people who are single are happy. Some maybe not, but most, without a doubt, they are happy. Why wouldn't you be happy if you're single? Like, you're not committed to nobody. You live your life, you wake up. You know what? One thing about being in a relationship is that, remember, your life is no longer your life alone. It's your life and the other person. So it's quite difficult to be happy sometimes in a relationship, because you sacrifice a lot. You sacrifice a lot. And human beings were born with their own interests. But when you indulge in a relationship, you tend to, because you want to meet the other person halfway. Some people, they tend to sacrifice everything, about like everything, their happiness, everything about them, and then just for the sake of a relationship, which is not wrong. If you want a relationship to work, you need to rest assured, or you need to be informed that, not at some point, actually, just right from the beginning, there are so many things that you're going to have to let go of. That is just the reality. Wait, what is that question again? Do people... Oh, no. What? Is marriage still the goal? Of course. Of course. 100%, I can tell you that of the billions of people we have around the globe, 95 or 95, actually 95 of them do want to get married. But unfortunately, it's just that, like, when you don't meet interesting people in your life, you tend to disregard the idea of marriage, because you just keep like meeting all the bad people, the bad guys, the bad boys, the bad girls, gold diggers of sorts. So, yep. Let's see. Can two broken people build something healthy? That's a very good question. It depends how broken they are. Can two broken people build something healthy? It depends how. Sometimes people, they be like, they are broken, and then when you listen to them, and they be like, oh, it's something so minor. In 3 months, they will like be over it, for sure. For sure. So let's see. Can two broken people build something healthy? If those two broken people, they were the victims of the relationship, then there is a high chance that they can build something healthy. But if they were the perpetrators, once a perpetrator will always be a perpetrator. If like they were the ones who cheated, the ones who lied, the ones who led to the whole relationship failing, of course there's no way they can save another relationship or make another relationship healthy. It's impossible. Those people are fucked. They are fucked. Let's see, 39. Is working on yourself an excuse to avoid commitment? No. No and no. My answer is no. Working on yourself, it is not an excuse to avoid commitment. People go through difficulties in life, and at some point, they do really